There lived a young girl called Azuka. Azuka lived in the Okpa Kingdom. She was the only child of her parents. The Okpa people were fishermen, farmers. They sold food produce to neighboring villages. They were good, hard-working people. They made a lot of profits exporting their goods to other villages. The major problem in the Okpa Kingdom was their king. He was a very wicked king. He was so greedy. Every month, he would increase the tax rate of the people. The villagers had to pay more taxes, and this was affecting their profits. This was a great problem in the land. The farmers had to bring their first harvest to the king. He would select the best and leave the rest to them. And as such, the goods exported were not top-notch. This will cause farmers to lose customers from other villages who did not understand the wicked rule of the Okpa king. One day, as Azuka was on her way home from the market square, she had to pass the palace to get home. At the entrance of the palace, she could see 3 foreign men entering the palace. They were Africans, but they looked like people from another tribe. She had not seen them before, so she thought maybe they were from another region. When she got home, she told her mother what she saw. She said what was peculiar to her was that the men were on horseback. When she said this, her mother said that they could be from the Tolani tribe. They were the ones who were known to use horses a lot for transportation. When her father came back, she also told him what she had seen. Her father had a worried look on his face. He said, "Why were they here? What could they be looking for?" When Azuka asked him, "Father, why are you worried? Are they bad people?" Her father said, "Keep away from them." It seemed like more Tolani people were coming and leaving the palace. They would always bring gifts to the Okpa king. They brought mirrors, white powder, bicycles, and gold. Then one day, they stopped coming. One night, as Azuka got up to see why the dog was barking, she went outside to the tree where the dog was tied. She saw that he was barking towards the bush. When Azuka looked towards that direction, she saw a man bleeding on the floor, dead. And a woman was beside him crying. The woman was pregnant. Azuka ran inside and went to call her father. When her father came outside, he asked the woman, "What happened?" She told him that many homes have been burnt down. We are under attack. Some people have been taken. She said as she was trying to escape with her husband, he was killed. Azuka's father was shocked. He said, "Who is attacking the village?" The woman said she did not see their faces, but that they were on horsebacks and they were not from the village. Immediately upon hearing this, Azuka's father was scared. He grabbed his wife, Azuka. They packed a few of their belongings and left their home immediately. They took the pregnant woman with them. As they left their village that night, they saw many dead bodies and burnt homes. Many people also escaped as well. They were all moving towards the same direction. They walked for 10 days until they got to the Afe kingdom. There were over 70 Okpa people who made this journey. They went to the Afe king and told him what had happened to them. The king, being a good man, had mercy on them and gave them a land to settle on. It was very difficult for the Okpa people. They were farmers and only knew how to farm. They did not have enough farmland to farm on. The Afa people were primarily hunters. They dealt in leather business. Also, not all the Afa people welcomed them. They were seen as second-class people, as they were not of the Afa kingdom. Despite this, the Okpa people tried their best to survive. One day, as Azuka was going to her friend's house, she had to pass through a path. While she was walking down the path, she saw 3 men. They looked like men she had seen before. Upon getting closer, she saw that they were from the Tolani tribe. They were the same men she saw going into the Okpa palace. As they walked past her, for some reason, she became afraid. She turned back and ran home. She told her father what she had seen. This made him very apprehensive. He stood up and said he had to tell the king, but he didn't know how. The next day, he went to the palace to see the king, but he was not allowed to enter the palace as he was not of the Afe tribe. But Azuka's father did not give up. Every day, he would stand at the entrance of the palace and wait until the king sent for him. After a few days, the king gave in and allowed him to enter. Once in the king's presence, Azuka's father told him about the 3 Tolani men that had come to the Okpa kingdom. He said those are the 3 men his daughter had seen just recently in the Afa kingdom. He said that the Okpa people did not know that the Tolani tribe was into the slave trade business. He said the Okpa king has sold them to the Tolani people. The Afa king said he would never do that to his people. He was not wicked as the Okpa king. Azuka's father insisted, but the king told him to keep quiet and leave before he is beheaded. That he would never sell his own people, and the Tolani tribe has not asked for any slaves. So Azuka's father left. Before he did, he told the king that he had found a cave in the forest where the Okpa people will be until the men from the Tolani tribe leave the Afa kingdom. Today was the last day the Tolani people will see the Afa king. On that day, they presented their last gift. Before they left, they asked the Afa king if he had young men that they could take. The Afa king was surprised at this request. He said no. They asked again, "Do you have any slaves?" The Afa king said no. Immediately their faces changed and then they left. That night, the Afa king could not sleep. he was worried. The following morning, one of the warriors came and announced that the Tolani people were attacking the villagers. The king told them and all the warriors that the women and children should be taken to Azuka's father. He will keep them safe. The young men and able-bodied men should be ready to fight off the Tolani people. And so it was. The women and children were kept in the cave that Azuka's father had seen, and the Afe men and the Okpa men stood side by side and fought off the Tolani men who had come to take them as slaves. The battle took all night, but the Afe kingdom won. After this, the Okpa men and the Okpa people were seen as equals, and Azuka's father was made a cabinet member. Thank you so much for listening to this episode.